None of the conversations or comments from us or guests represent DoD or the armed forces.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
The Director of the Security Forces, Career Field, Brigadier General Thomas Sherman.
Really appreciate it. It has been a real honor for me to be on Unpopular Celebrities today. I have truly I love watching from the sidelines. I love jumping in, periodically to kind of incognito listen to what's going on and stuff like that. But I think that what you're doing is like this kind of dialogue, this is important.
Today we have the dynamic, I call her sister in arms. She's a mother. She is also a survivor.
Thank you all for having us on here and doing everything that you do for us. This is the rawest I've been able to be in 13 years. I love it. It's time for it.
Chris Rogers. I'm currently serving as the 19th Air Force Command Chief.
Jessica Player. Joe Bass here. Excited to be with the Unpopular Celebrities. I'm Tish, and a lot of people call me PJ, founder of Life Military Child.
Andy Gilbert, I'm CE by trade, so everybody's down.
Kristen Wiener, and I'm an aviation resource manager by trade. I am just like Andy, and I'm a people leader. You don't have to be an airman, but let's just go.
My name is Caitlin Jones Martin, and I'm a Master Sergeant in the Air Force.
Paul Mendoza, 5th degree Master Black Belt in Shooting Karate, 3rd degree Black Belt in Gracie Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Staff Sergeant Gary McDonald, all Air Force basketball legend.
The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Boom!
No sound effects.
What's up? Sound effects, my bad.
Nope,
How's
don't
that?
hear anything. Nope, didn't hear
You don't
anything.
hear that?
Yep, your stuff. Nope, no sound effects for you today. Ba 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 ba. Ba ba ba. I gotta do it with your mouth now. Ba ba ba. Ba ba ba.
You don't hear that?
No, I hear echo. It's echoing on your
Well,
side.
it must be. Well, it's working on my side. It's weird.
Well, nobody cares. Nobody can hear that. What up? What up? What up?
And that's how you're gonna start the show up. Just well, you know what? First of all, welcome everybody to another episode of Unpopular Celebrities. I am your co-host, Billy DC, and to my right or your left is this dirtbag T-shirt Peterson.
Why you say my whole government though? That's the whole government.
Dominic.
You a hater.
Everybody send some love and comments to P. He's in the First Sergeant Academy. What is this, week 3, right? Hey there, hold on. Wait. Happy birthday to Kathy Kibbe. Happy birthday. Today's her birthday. I worked with her at Luke Air Force Base when I was with Colonel Richardson. Awesome person to talk to. She always kept me in great spirits. So happy birthday, Miss Kathy.
Happy birthday, Miss Kathy. I don't even know what just happened. I'm doing fine, I guess. I don't even know if you asked how I was doing. Anyway, we got some guests to get on, so I don't even know how we got into this right now. I'm hoping my internet stays good because we're going off the IMSC internet, so y'all know how that is. Subject to change per minute on this podcast if the internet goes in and out. If they do right? Philly, DC to imsc.com/.mil at af.mil or whatever it is, and tell him to upgrade the internet to fiber. We need fibers, 2026,
Hey, look at that! Hey, look at that great lodging room you're in. Courtesy of
I should show him the whole room so you can see it. I should.
And oh, by the way, this is the reason why we're going privatized. Before going to that.
All right.
Did I say that? Maybe I wasn't supposed to say that. Oh, my bad.
All right, you ready to bring on the guest?
All right, yeah, let's get on the guest. So we have a treat for y'all today. So as you know, it is Women's History Month. And what better way to celebrate Women's History Month by bringing on two phenomenal ladies. You know one as Chief Master Sergeant Adrienne Warren, who is a command chief out in Las Vegas. Forgive me, huh? Okay. And Master Sergeant Faith Donavan, straight out of the Air Force Services Center at the Air Force Installation Mission Support Center. Welcome everybody to the show. Yes, welcome, y'all. It is good to see y'all. How's everybody doing?
What happened?
Yeah, good here, Chief.
Thank you. Wait, get in the dry. It's good for you in the morning. Yes, get in the dry. Look, thank you to both of you for being on the show. So obviously it's Women's History Month, so that's why you two ladies are on. We're going to talk about anything and everything about you, who you are, what makes you who you are, and talk about some things across the world affecting ladies and in general. So before we do that, let's get into some introductions. So first, let's start with Adrienne. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Adrienne.
Happy Sunday, everybody. First of all, thank y'all for having me on the show. This is pretty dope, and just love an opportunity to be able to share my story and, give some perspective, Adrienne's perspective on some things. So I'm the command chief of the 99th Air Base Wing at Air Force Base. You were almost there. Yeah. So command chief of the 99th. I am services by trade. I've been in for almost 27 years. I know I don't look it, but yes.
Okay.
That right. It's been a great journey, whether it be on the services side, whether it be on the command chief side. It's just been awesome. I still love what I do. There's highs and lows as with every job, but that's pretty much me. I'm from the great state of Texas. I know that. And let's see. I think the last thing that my airmen know about me, and I would love to share, is I'm a huge fan of Bruce Lee. So.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, we're definitely gonna dig into that. Oh, definitely.
Yep.
I have a story when we're ready. So.
Yeah.
Hiya.
No.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry that just happened. But we'll continue the show. Miss Faith Donovan. That was so corny. That was so corny. All right, we'll continue on with the show.
Get on with it. Hurry up.
Miss Faith Donovan, my heart and soul to the show, who I appreciate every day that we have a show, and you come on and defend me one way or another. Ma'am, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people who don't know who you are.
Well, happy Sunday. I'm Master Sergeant Faith Donovan. I work down here in San Antonio at Lackland for the Air Force Services Center. I'm in the Commander's Action Group right now. Services by trade as well. Original 3MO, transitioned over to 3F1. I've been doing that for 18 years. Just hit 18 a couple months ago. I love what we do. Absolutely love it. I'm a single mom with two boys. I got a 20-year-old and an 11-year-old. Been rocking single mom military lifestyle for a little while. And it can be a curse and a blessing, but I've definitely learned a lot along the way. And although I'm not a Bruce Lee fan, I am a Jackie Chan fan. So we could have a little debate about that.
Wow, we just had a whole martial arts karate match. That's so bad. Chief, somebody just met you on Thursday. I can't read too well, but Perry Hardy, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, watch you on Thursday. That's pretty cool. Looking forward to working with you. Samel Brown in the building. Always look forward to him coming on here with his comments and questions and everything. A Dub, is that your nickname?
For A Dub.
For what?
Adrian Warren, my initials. But Chief Brown, I know you can hear me and I can hear you. A Dub. What's up, A Dub?
That sounds just like him.
Yo, that sound like this joint when you put a hey Dub. So man, what happened to you, bro? I'm just kidding.
That's
I
hilarious.
wasn't coming at me. Well, it's good to hear y'all. It's good to have y'all on the show again. So, let's unpack a little bit. So if you indulge us, I want for you all to tell us a little bit more about yourself. Like, why did you join the Air Force? And then what do you plan on doing when you transition out of the Air Force and things of that nature? So let's transition. Let's start with Faith this time.
Okay. So I actually joined the Air Force. I never wanted to be in a military uniform at all. My mom worked as a civilian at Stratcom at Offutt for 37 years. And just from the civilian side of it, it just seemed like a hot mess. So I was like, I'm never going to be in the military. And I was a rebellious teenager. So following orders was not something that I was trying to get into. But I was married, had a 1-year-old, and life kind of hit us hard. So the best thing that I could do for providing some stability when it came to income and health insurance and some of those things was to join the Air Force. So I joined in December of 2005. My baby was 1.5 years. And I actually came in cryptologic linguist. Those big words.
Yeah, hey, I told you about that already. We got slow it down.
Yeah, those big words only help in certain situations. I've learned even on the services side of the house. But I got reclassed in basic. And instead of just saying, hey, throw me where you want me, I chose services. I love taking care of people. I'm a mama bear. So I love customer service. I love taking care of the airmen and their families and trying to figure out the right way to do it, even if it may not be written. So I like what we do a lot.
So crypto linguist is I know linguist is language. Mm-hmm. Only crypto I know is Bitcoin. So what is the crypto? What is the crypto?
So I would have been a ground linguist. There's 2 types of linguists, right? You have your air crew, your air linguists, and then you have your ground linguists. And funny, I'm in the Air Force because I don't like planes. But it was better than being on a boat. I would have been basically a ground translator. I would have gone through with the language that they gave me and translated transmissions between that they brought up. And I would have been taught to translate those things and be able to provide intel or try to figure out how that intel connected to the current ops tempo and things.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You said you ain't know anything else besides crypto, besides Bitcoin. Terrible.
And Dogecoin.
Terrible.
That's actually going up, by the way. But anyway, we'll move on. Chief Warren, tell us about your journey. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Faith.
No, you're okay. And then to answer your second question, depending on how much longer I wear this uniform, I have 2 goals when I transition. I actually was blessed to get my culinary certification while I was in. So my degree in health and wellness will be completed here, hopefully sooner than later. So I'd love to be a hawk lady. Like I'd love to help airmen figure out the health and wellness portion and, or do that at some kind of facility. But I want a food truck. I want to get myself a little food truck and have, the Fabulous 5 by Faith or something. I haven't quite figured out what I want to call it. But I kind of want to just cook and make people happy with food. So
that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Let's transition. Adrian, how about you?
Okay. So back in the 1900s,
okay.
So senior in high school in Wichita, Kansas, and I knew I didn't want the college experience, or I just didn't want more school. And a recruiter came during my senior year of high school. She came and talked to us at lunchtime, and she said some things. And then next thing you know, I was supposed to come visit her in her office. And, like, I don't know if it's like that everywhere, but in this little shopping plaza, it was the Army, the Marines, like all the branches there. And here I am with my little green self, like, la, 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 la. And the Army was trying to pull me in. The Marines were trying to pull me in. I was like, I was told not to talk to you. I was supposed to go straight to the Air Force recruiter's office. Leave me alone. Right? Yeah. And fast forward, I enlisted on the delayed entry program and came in July of 97. And I say that proudly, right? Because, there's a lot of things that I never thought I would see that I'm thankful to still be on this side to give the historical perspective of where we've come from and that we still have room to grow. But yeah, joined in 97, July of 97, hot as hell in San Antonio, Texas, just sweating and all the things they have you do.
Yep.
When it came to career field, they were like, you want to be a cook or a cop? And I was like, well, cookie doesn't sound bad, right? So,
right.
Good decision.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to be seer, believe it or not, like 2 minutes. And then I found they kill animals, like kill bunnies. And I was like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. But yeah, so I've been services, ever since then. I think I've worked everywhere there is to work in the career field, whether it be Canon, 6 deployments. It's been quite a journey. And sometimes I have to pinch myself because I just never saw myself like where I am now, like still serving and still enjoying it. So as far as what I want to do next, my 2 cents, I've had people ask me that my whole time. And it's like, while I appreciate that, you see me in another chapter or doing something around the corner, I've learned that I need to be mentally and physically present in the moment. Because I see a lot of people that they're like, I'm physically in this job, but in my mind, I'm already on the next job, and the next job, and the next job. And that creates a lot of unnecessary stress. And if you're not mentally and physically present, you're going to miss stuff in the current, right? So if you ask me, yeah, I have some ideas. I have to start entertaining that sooner or later this chapter is going to close for me, but I don't necessarily know what that looks like yet, right? I love people, so I figure that's going to be in the picture somewhere. And I figure I'll be living in the great state of Texas, right? Being closer to family. But I mean, that's all I got. So I'm just going to take it one day at a time and kind of start preparing myself by going through TAP and, different things you can do to kind of figure out what career fields you definitely don't want. And we'll go from there.
Hey, Pete, throw up Samel's comment again. Because I agree with him. When you're thinking about your future, Adrian, it's in security forces. Deep down inside, you want to be a defender. I see you at Delta 9 right now. Full battle rattle. And since you came in 97, it would be what? Pete, help me out. M16A1, maybe? 16A1?
Why the hell would you ask me?
I mean, you that old.
It ain't no damn 97.
So you was there, but you was scared A1. You know what I mean?
I was. Yeah, that's accurate. That is.
So Adrian, we still want you in the defender world. Yes, you can still come back.
Much love to
Chief Warren, do you know?
Jason.
Do you know Dooley Allen by chance?
Yeah, he's our security.
Yeah,
he better act right.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I need you to make sure that we keep a thumb on him really well. Well.
Okay, Faith, can I connect you with Daryl Allen? Because I know you said you want to open up a food truck, but I don't know if you follow Daryl Allen's like Facebook. He puts up like these doodly treats or something, and it looks like pure crap, like vomit. And he always talks about, I'm hooking you up for a good one. He needs your help, man. So, Dooley, please hook up with Faith Donovan. She'll get you squared away. Samel co-signs for that. Thank you.
Definitely. He needs like back to 3-level services classes on how to cook. Like start with oatmeal first, and then we'll work our way up to like
oatmeal.
We gotta start slow. Not even grits. We need oatmeal. The instant oat. Start with the instill, and then we'll work our way up. Cause he be struggling. Oh man, he loves his posts too.
I got him.
All right. Hey, yo, so since it's Women's History Month, we were just talking earlier about Chief Bass, Chief Master Sergeant Air Force, or former Chief Master Sergeant Air Force Bass, just retired. I think it was 2 days ago, and Thursday. Thank you. So, first Chief Master Sergeant Air Force, female Chief Master Sergeant Air Force. So, being Women's History Month, I'm curious, what are your thoughts on her legacy and how she affected you personally, being in that seat?
Faith, you want to go first?
I'll go first, Adrian. So I've always prided myself on being transparent. And the one thing that I have to appreciate is as the first female CMSAF is that there was never a time where I saw her, whether it was on the Facebook page or Go Live or anything else, where she was anything but organically herself. There was never a question of if she was trying to play one way or the other. You could tell that her focus was on the airmen and on doing right by the airmen, not proving that a woman should be in that seat or shouldn't be in that seat. And I had to appreciate that she owned that the entire time, all the way up until the very last day when she said, okay, if I'm going to retire, I'm going to do it as the first female Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force on International Women's Day. Like I'm going to represent the fact that now that I'm officially passing this torch, I'm going to represent the fact that I am passing this torch as the first female. I had to really appreciate that.
All right. Dream.
And then I'll add to what Faith said, like in 1997, I didn't see me in 1997. And by way of an African-American female command chief. So like to even think past that, like that you would actually have a Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force that is a female, like you just didn't think it was ever going to be a thing, right? And once again, being able to be in during those times to fast forward to where like our airmen coming in today, they're like, yeah, okay. And I'm like, no. This is huge, right? Let me give some context on why this is so important, right? And the decisions that she got to weigh in on, people wanted to hear what she had to say, the influence she had on our quality of life and just tons of other things. Yeah, props, much love. And you know what the beautiful thing is, as we continue to progress, soon we'll start running out of firsts.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt. Soon
I
we'll
like
start
that.
running out of first. I like that. I like that.
So speaking of first, we were talking earlier. One of the things I think Chief Bass was much appreciated for is the policy on ponytails for ladies. There was some commentary about for years, with females being able to put their hair in a bun or some small form of a ponytail caused some headaches, and then that was the reason why they decided, to push having females wear ponytails. And so that being interesting, us males, as men, we're trying to push beards for the men. So curious to hear your thoughts. Adrian, we'll start with you first.
I'm going to defer to Faith first.
Boo. All right, go ahead, Faith.
So I appreciate that, Chief. I actually am one who suffered migraines from having my hair pulled. Like I came in the BDU Air Force and my TI, if my hair wasn't right, if it wasn't tight, it was wrong. If it wasn't slicked down with some dippity doo or, that we used to have back in the day, if it wasn't slicked down and it wasn't within, like, you couldn't have a hair. Otherwise they would call you out for having a hair out of place. So I'd kill my head trying to get it to where I'd maintain that standard. And I was having lots of headaches and a lot of issues with it. So, I mean, you see me at work, DC. There's days I still rock the bun because it still makes me itch sometimes. But there's days I rock the ponytail with a braid because my hair is super long. So now with the new standard, I can't just rock a ponytail. I still have to find ways to ways to make it fit within the standard if I'm gonna try to go that route, right? But I really loved the fact that there was support from the top all the way down on this, and that there was such a drive from the bottom to push this up. I said it before, probably not the most popular opinion in the room, but I think beards should have become first, just because there's so many men out there who have folliculitis and have that issue. I just think that, I mean, you could say we definitely took advantage of the fact that we had support from the top down on this, because the women came together and handled it. We came together, made sure we had what we needed to justify the push and the medical necessity behind it for it to get approved. That's all I got.
All right, throw that comment back up there, Pete.
Oh, real quick. Can I do something real quick, Faith? The migraine thing. So I had one migraine in my life, and it came much later, probably like 5-6 years ago. I don't know how y'all come to work with migraines, and I don't know how often y'all have to, because I tell you, luckily I was off. It was a Saturday, and I was complaining to my wife that my head was hurting, and I couldn't figure out why it was hurting this bad. Like, I had headaches, but never had a migraine, and it was pounding, a lot of pressure, and I don't know how y'all came to work all day with that. I really, like, now, I used to hear women saying, oh, I have a migraine. I'd be like, whatever, suck it up. But now I'm like, yo, I'm so sorry that you're going through this. Let's get you out of here ASAP. But tell me, kind of walk me through if that's a day-to-day function back in the day with the hair being pulled, or was it like every other day? I mean, even if it was once a week, that's too much. But how does that affect your work, coming to work and everything?
Oh, I mean, I was popping medically induced Motrin every day.
Yeah.
Going to the group and being like, hey, I was walking around every single day going, okay, guys, like, I'm gonna need a minute before I step out and deal with some of these customers. Like, I need to go sit in a dark room for a second and just kind of
really, yeah.
Because, I mean, 2005, 2006, there was no go home because you had a migraine, because there was no go home because it was cold outside or there was black ice on the road. We didn't take care of our airmen like we do now. We didn't. It was, the job came first always. So at least for me, like, I just learned to suck it up and deal with it. Kind of like, because I had leaders who were like, just like that, that said, hey, I don't know what that is, so just suck it up, just deal with it, right? Just like any other, and since it's Women's History Month, I'm gonna throw it out there, just like any other women's health concern or some of the other things that women go through that cause a lot of pain, right? It's hard to understand some of those things, but we have more of an environment now where those things are open conversations compared to, well, you just have to figure it out and deal with it. So
yeah, Adrian, you want to add anything to that?
So I mean, obviously my hair is short to where I could do a ponytail, but it's like this long, right? But some of my younger days, absolutely, right? You have ponytails, and then what we don't talk about is that it has to be in the same particular area, because you have to put some type of hat or beret or whatever, some type of head cover on your head. Tender areas in your scalp, hair breakage, right? Just from constant in that position all of the time. Yes, I had headaches as well, but before I even knew that we were going to look at hair standards again, some people just made the conscious effort just to cut. And maybe you did want to cut your hair, but bigger picture, it did provide a whole bunch of relief. And if I'm being completely honest, right, like my bob game was so strong, and I know the hair past the collar is a thing, but I had things to do when I had to get off work, and my hair was already laid, so I would literally walk with my head forward so where it looked like it wasn't past.
Oh wow!
And I had a sergeant call me out, and I was like, all right, I'm busted. But I think it's a good move, that's for sure.
That's
No,
cool.
I have to appreciate it because you do rock the bob well, Adrian. I can't pull it off. In a uniform with short hair, as tall as I am, I get called sir. So the only way for me to have an identity really was to have some kind of long hair, put it in a bun, something different, because the short hair didn't work for me. So more power to you that you can rock it.
There's days I miss it, right? There's days where it was super easy, especially after PT or something, and you can't cool off and you can just throw it back real quick. I don't have that option anymore. I can look crazy all day at work, right? So it's definitely a conscious decision, whichever way you go.
Yeah, most definitely.
Hey, so I wanted to throw up that comment from, I believe it was Brandon Spears. So he says, oh gosh, not the beards, medical purpose all day lineups and Mr. Cool Guys, not for it. So I think when we have these shows or probably other websites and they talk about beards and stuff and people think it's like we're beating a dead horse. But when you think about it, I think it's relevant because I honestly feel this topic is not going to go away. And now that we've got a new CMSgt, I think there are a lot of folks are expecting that there is another, revisit of looking at the standard for beards. And so they put out that 2903 about a month ago or something to that nature with pictures as well as other pictures about fingernail polish and stuff like that. And I appreciate that. I think that helps to enforce the standard. But DC's personal opinion, I do agree with Brandon to some degree. I think we've kind of went way beyond the curve, and I think the pictures help for the force to kind of rope it back in. But I think in the end, I mean, it's so many folks with it. I think personally, either we need to just strengthen the standard, in other words, reduce it from 5 years to 1 year, or just let everyone have a beard and just use the same standard that's in the 2903 now, or how you're supposed to wear it. Because again, to Brandon's point, I think it's everywhere is different. There's some people's got the chin strap, some people's got the Drew Hill, some people's got the Fu Manchu. It's like all kinds of stuff. Some people I can tell when I come through the gate, I can't tell if I'm looking at a Defender or somebody on the R&B cover. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
No, I'm just being honest. Because I'll be honest. So when people say like, oh, DC, that's old mentality. You're an old guy. I had a shaving waiver up till I was a mass sergeant. I did it too. Back in the day, we had to go to the doctor every month to shave in front of a doctor. And then we had these little tweezers they would issue us. We had to pull out our ingrown hairs and stuff. And then they would give us different trimmers and stuff to practice with. And it was a choice for me. I could get a shaving waiver now easily with no problem. It's just a choice. So I'm not against shaving waivers. I think the standard is still confusing. And I think we're in a age where it's still difficult for some people to approach folks who have a shaving waiver to uphold the standard. And so I think just let us all have beards. Just use the same standard you're using now. So
I kind of leaked this dead horse because now we'll go down a long tangent. I just don't want this to turn into females got hair down so we should get beards. I don't want to turn into a male-female thing and tit for tat type of thing. I damn sure don't want that. And my reason for saying that is I'm apologizing to y'all two females for the rest of them that I said just suck it up with the migraines, because I did not know what I was saying back in the day, and I apologize for that. But moving on, Adrian, tell me about the services career field, because I've heard some stigmas about the services career field. I'm trying to think of how to word the stigmas. Kind of a low career field? Is that the right way to put it? Almost like security forces. I guess I can talk about my own career field. Like where people fell out of their career field, they all get put into services.
No, that's not true. Number one.
Okay.
But so here's the thing that's really unfortunate. And I say that because I used to be one of those airmen until I had my aha moment to where I realized my contribution to the mission, right? And I held my head high ever since. services, I mean, we have this thing in our career field from cradle to grave, right? Everything from your child care to mortuary affairs, search and recovery, honor guard, right? And everything in between, all geared towards your well-being and that of your family. So when people would say, oh, well, you're dumb to be in services, I just never got that. And real talk, when we're deployed and you've been working your butt off in over 100-degree temperatures and it's time to eat, I could be your best friend, right? Because I'm about to eat. I'm literally fueling you for the fight. And it would be good for you to come in with a little professionalism and courtesy. The same way I respect what you do, you got to respect what I do, right? And if you come at me sideways, don't be mad when you get the smallest piece of sad, gnarled up meat in the pan. And then I'm going to tell you, because I have a whole line of people to feed, right? Yeah. But, when I was the squadron chief, it's real talk. You asked me, right? So it's heartbreaking when, these airmen, maybe you won't have a deployment for you to reach your aha moment, right? And it's like, I need you to hold your head up high and have pride in whatever your name is assigned to. It will be the absolute best, because that is what you give, right? If my job is to make some gravy, it's going to be the best damn gravy ever, because I don't want my name associated with anything that's mediocre, right? And even though I'm the command chief and I've been out of services technically for a little while, that doesn't fall far from me. And I try to do my best with still going to the fitness center and the dining facility, fitness center, dining facility, readiness, all those areas, just to say, hey, I still see you. And, bringing people with me so they can see that they're making a difference, right? I used to bring maintainer chiefs all the time and they'd be like, wow, I had no idea. And I'm like, yeah, so tell your friends. And, stop all this negativity, because real talk, we need every career field. So
that was beautifully said. One question I have, Faith, I want to get to you with the same question, but add another question. How come you guys don't put your names on what you cook? Like in front of, like, say it's, chicken or whatever, made by airmen. Is that not allowed? Is that not a thing? Or is there no purpose for it?
It used to be a thing. That was a sense of pride too, especially if, it was something like, so my favorite was Catfish Day, right?
Yeah, amen.
Yeah, catfish.
Day. This Texas girl is not about to mess up on a Catfish Day. My services out there, I'm sorry, but I didn't follow the recipe card. I didn't.
I was going to ask that too. Some Old Bay in there.
Salt, pepper, like that's a foul. That's a foul to the fish, right? So I do. I want to say that we did put our names next to it, but now I think it's evolved to where, like, we have to put the health content and calories.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead, Faith. Kind of same question.
Let me ask this. So, do you think that I would rather? I don't know, man. Like when I see catfish, what would that be? Yellow or red? Would that be red? You know how they put the color code on green is good for you, yellow, medium, red. Catfish would be what, red maybe?
Are we frying it like the way it should be?
No, yeah, fried up. The yams. If it's fried up, I don't care about the red. Give me the catfish. I always wonder, can you use your own like Old Bay seasoning to kind of spice up the recipe?
Man, I know there's some services ears out here, and I'm not.
I'll help you out, Chief. You can't bring in your own, but you can learn how to make your own with what's in the defect to add it, because that's what we used to do. I may not have been able to bring in my can of Old Bay into the defect, but I can certainly look at the ingredients in the back and go, okay, well, we have all this in the defect. Let me make my own mix from what we have on inventory. And I'm going to add it there, because I never followed a recipe card either.
Well,
it's
crazy because...
And, right, you have paying customers that are coming in your facility, right? Yep. And, Adrian's way of cooking in my house versus, in a public facility where you're serving the masses that may have issues with iodine or allergies. I get it, right? But I will tell you, if you have catfish at my house, be ready for some cayenne, and it's going to be garlicky.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do that in a dining facility, right? For someone that's actually paying for that food. That's why you station of hot sauce and all the things to spice it up on your plate, but not.
Yeah, I can't do spicy stuff. No way. Oh Lord, no way.
Oh,
But that's fine. That's fine. Faith, how about you with your services career field? Like, what was your, I guess, favorite place to work, or was it only the DFAC?
So I go back and forth. I've been really blessed in my career. I've done a little bit of everything. I've done food, I've done fitness, done contingency lodging, and I just came back last year from a deployment to AFMAO, working at the Port Mortuary. So I've been, like I said, I've been humbled that I've had a nice little spread across my career field. I'm a foodie at heart, though. Total foodie. So whether I was an A1C or even now as a master sergeant, you give me a chance to be in the DFAC, I'm gonna turn up the radio and I'm gonna try to throw down. That's just what I tried to do. I love cooking. And half of it is because of the fact that I like being able to see people eat the food and just go, oh my gosh, this is so good. Right. Whether it takes them back to a moment at home, like that little moment in Ratatouille where the critic eats the food and it takes him all the way back home to what his mom's cooking, right? Some of us have that with our food, right? Like, hey, I really appreciate this because this tasted like I was back home today, or this reminded me of my family. I'm gonna go call my mom, right? So we can have those moments too. I completely agree as far as services is concerned that I was one of those airmen that even being reclassed, coming to services, it was really hard to see how what I did flipping burgers and flipping eggs at the DFAC, how it impacted the mission and what my role was. It was a little hard at first. Until I had that aha moment as well. And if I may, I'm gonna tell you my aha moment because it'll make you giggle, right? So I was in Grand Forks, North Dakota. It's negative 62 outside and it's midnight meal. Yeah. I'm on the grill because at that time in BDUs, my shift leader decided that he was gonna flip me for who was gonna work the grill. And he was a senior airman and I was an A1C, so I lost. Every time, and I had to work the grill, and I won't say the name, but we'll call him Airman Snuffy, came in from outside, maintainer, and he literally had ice chips all over his parka and coming off his face, and you could see like the red of his nose and everything else. And he asked for a cheeseburger, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make you a cheeseburger. I'm gonna do the best that I can, ask him how his day is going, customer service. And this man had the audacity to tell me he would hate to have my job.
Oh, man, see.
And in that moment, I went, hold on. So you're a maintainer. Are you married? Like, are we getting the same benefits out of this as far as the Air Force is concerned? We are. Okay, got it. So we're both married. We both have dependents. We're both we getting the same exact pay. And all I have to do to make the same exact pay to feed you to go back out there into the icicle infested world is ask you if you want cheese on this. Like, that's all I have to do.
Yeah.
Man, like,
but
why is it that
it's gonna warm you from the inside out, man? I paid for that boy's cheeseburger that day.
Oh, that's what's up.
Because I was
why
like,
is it? Yeah.
Go
ahead, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You can hate you would hate to have my job, but right now I don't think you just realized how much you just made me love it.
Why is it that people have this idea they know or had this feeling of how a job may not be desirable or not? I think Adrian said it earlier, every job is important. Like if Faith wasn't there that night, he wouldn't eat.
Yeah.
And then like when you talk about like when you go down range, when the flag goes up, people got to eat. And then services folks is more than just folks who's providing meals. They're providing lodging. And not only that, they can pick up a rifle just like the best of them and do their job. So I just wonder, like, what's all that somebody burning rubber out there? So. What's that?
Rifles.
Go ahead, Adrian. I'm sorry.
I don't know if you want me shooting a rifle. I'll make you eggs all day, but
no, you ain't getting out of it. We're gonna sign you up for Garbout, Adrian. You going to Garbout?
Garbout, oh Lord.
Yo, question: hot dogs. Do do y'all think it's weird for people to eat hot dogs with mayo?
Yes, I do.
Adrian?
But
All
it's
right,
just not my thing. Like I don't like mayonnaise anyway, so that's just me.
Adrian.
I don't do hot dogs.
Yeah, I don't do hot dogs either. That's
Or better yet, French fries. I'm sorry, French fries. I've seen that.
Well, I mean, overseas when I was stationed in Belgium, that's a thing. I still like my ketchup, but I did try it. It just wasn't my cup of tea. But yeah, you go different places. Mayonnaise is a thing for Fritz, as they call them in Europe.
What's y'all favorite dish to cook at home? Or are you guys cooks now, or do you guys kind of despise it because you did it so often? I don't know.
I cook at least 3 to 4 home cooked meals every single week for my boys, and if I had to pick one, I'm doing, because I do everything homemade. So I do homemade chicken and gnocchi with a marsala infused cream sauce. Like the boys tear it up. Like I told you, I love to cook. I love to throw down. So even my eggs are not normal eggs at this house.
Hey, can you translate infused for Pete?
Yeah, that sounds like something hot. It sounds like something that's hot. I don't know.
So consider it like marinating, right?
Yeah, it's infused.
So instead of marinating,
infused.
You're cooking that sauce with marsala or with wine, so that way your sauce is like it combines with it.
Got you. Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down now.
Thanks, Nick Jack. Yeah, I thought the same thing. Thank you.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine, Nick Jack. Nobody wants you in here anyway. But that's fine. We'll move on. Adrian, I'm sorry.
So Adrian,
wait.
Hurry up.
Adrian, what? Oh, sorry. Adrian, what's your meal that you appreciate? Or do you cook at home now?
Well, I mean, just because I'm services doesn't mean I don't ever cook. How I'm gonna live, right? So I still cook.
Got you that.
But it's cooking for one, which is different, right? And I will say that I have tastes for things, right? So sometimes I'll have a taste for spaghetti, and like I said, it's going to be a lot of garlic and spice. I put jalapenos on my spaghetti, like I like. But then other times, like today, I'm gonna bake chicken wings. I'm all over the place, right? I have a charcoal grill. Propane scares me, and I need all my facial hair. So I do. Yeah, being honest, that chicken and stuff and services. Remember the burner, the star burner we used to have to use in the field, where we were like, "Is today the day where I get taken out?" Because all the I just have my moods, right? Like one weekend it was ramen, but not just the little packet and that, but like I stir fried cabbage and like I had chicken in there. You go online, you can see that you can just soup up anything, and I get excited. Now sometimes I mess up and I'm like, I don't have to eat this, so I'm gonna throw it in the trash. But yeah, so all over the place.
Is it possible to mess up ramen? Like,
yeah.
Could you?
I'm
how?
Sure Dooley did.
You're right. Yeah, my bad. My bad. You're right. Yeah, I'm
sure he is.
On to the next one. My bad. Yeah.
I'll leave my man alone. Shout out Dooley Allen. Shout out to you.
So Adrian, I see you have a mental health shirt on, right?
I do. Mental health matters.
Like that. That's right.
Yes.
So tell us what your perspective on mental health. What do you do? Like when you're in I'll use former CMSgt Wright's analogy of being in a basement. What do you do to get yourself out of the basement?
Oh gosh. I've learned this, later on in my life, in my career versus earlier. So I think, especially some of us older folks are in leadership positions, you may be having the worst time, right? Fill in the blank on what it is, but what do? You put on your mask and you fix your face and you go into work because people are depending on you, right? And then on the other hand, maybe it's going in your house. You fix your face to be that loved one for your family. And I will say that people that really know you can see through that mask. And what I appreciate is I've had people over my time where like they'd ask me more than once, "Are you all right? Are you good?" And I got pride and I'm not trying to burden anybody with my stuff, right? So what do I say? I'm good. But like if they really know you, they know that I'm good sounds real shaky, right? And then they ask again. And if you're in my circle of trust, because you have to have people in your circle of trust. I don't care who you are, whether you're the number one person on this planet, you have to have someone that you could be absolutely vulnerable with and be yourself, cry, fuss, cuss, whatever it is. And they're not going to judge you. You don't have to worry about this stuff being repeated in another forum outside of that conversation. So I learned that, this mask ain't really a mask. I'm not helping myself. And when it starts to affect your health, when it starts to affect your sleep and your peace, right? And I'm like, okay, I got to do something here, because here I am being the biggest hypocrite, telling my airmen, make sure you're taking leave. How are you doing? All the things. And I'm like, yo, you are doing the worst job yourself. And people can see that. So now I take time for me. I check in with myself a lot, if that makes sense. Like there's days, especially in this job, where it gets really heavy sometimes, right? Maybe we've lost an airman or something just really heavy. And I have to check in with myself, because my heart is big and I can find myself wearing it, if that makes sense, right? So it's like, okay, well, Adrian, what's going on? Like, what are you wearing? Because you're wearing something that's preventing you from being naturally you, right? So I usually mentally I'll unpack it. There's people, like I said, in my circle of trust that I call. My prayer game is strong. And then there's times where, like, no kidding, I just need to do an activity that Adrian likes to do. So where I can just let my head be clear and just focus on the activity, and just that is stress relieving as well, right? So I do jigsaw puzzles. That's all I gotta do is does a piece fit or no? Like super easy. Or sometimes, no judgment, I'll turn on Hoarders and I'll clean.
Hoarders.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, I want to hear about this one.
Yeah,
You think you'll turn it on and motivate you to clean up something in your house?
I mean, I don't know what more motivation do you need, right? But
that's very true.
I will just say that you got to find what works for you, because the reality is a lot of us are walking around wearing stuff and keeping stuff within, and it's just not healthy.
Yeah.
It's not healthy. And people that really know you and love you, they would come through for you. You got to give them the opportunity. They're not mind readers, right? So I think mental health, and this is not saying that everybody needs to necessarily rush out and see a therapist or our mental health providers, right? Maybe it's something as just calling up one of your peeps and just talking through some life stuff. So yeah, I think that that's absolutely important, and it's going to look different for everybody. And I appreciate, once again, coming in from 97 until now, that we don't have to walk around with our feelings tucked in or suck it up. We can actually talk about it and get each other the help and resources we need.
Okay.
Let me ask you, Faith, what kind of transition a little bit, unless you want to hit on that. If you want to hit on that, that's important as well.
I think the only thing I would add is, or at least 100% support, is the fact that it looks different for everybody, right? And that no one thing is going to work every time. I have 12 to 15 different coping mechanisms. Some of them are social. Some of them I'm deep in my prayer life too. Sometimes I know I need to get on my knees. Sometimes I know I need to get to the gym. Sometimes I just need to write some poetry. There's no one answer for dealing, coping, working through, and finding a healthy balance to how to be unapologetically yourself in whatever you're going through. That's the only thing that I would add, I think.
Let me ask you, kind of getting the personal side of both of you. What would most people find you doing on your off time, Saturday or Sunday or something? What does a typical Saturday, Sunday look like for both of y'all?
So I'm a soccer mom to the T. I got the soccer mom car. I got the soccer mom kids. Like, and I'm proud to wear it all day. I joined this Air Force, yes, to take care of my kids, but my kids will always be my heart first. So if they've got training in the morning, like if they've got something else going on, I spent 7 hours yesterday at an event. He only played twice, but we were there.
Oh no!
I was
Oh
I was rocking that t-shirt. I was supporting all day, saying, "Hey, let's go, let's go." I ran and got water bottles. Like, I love being a soccer mom. I love being a sports mom. I love supporting the fact that, because for them, that is a way that they cope. That's a way that they find teamwork and they find camaraderie and they find an outlet. So I'm all about it all day. Other than that, you will find me folding laundry and sitting on the couch watching NCIS and Criminal Minds. Like I love crime TV shows. So that's
okay.
Or cooking.
Sounds like another defender right there.
Oh my God. Adrian, what about you? What would somebody find yourself doing?
It just depends on where I'm at, right? There's some times where, it's been a busy week and you run hard and you have to talk all day and give awards out and ALS graduations and all the other cool things that come with this job, to where by the time I walk in the door, I'm exhausted and I don't want to talk to anybody for a little bit. I just need to sit down, just kind of like be still, like my mom said, just be still, right? And then there's other times where, I feel social, right? Where, maybe I'm doing something, Vegas has lots of stuff going on, or maybe I'm out of town. Because the beauty of, service, you make good friends throughout the years. And I got squad that lives in Hawaii, Mississippi, we go to New Orleans. Like, it just really depends on, where I'm at. So yeah. And then when I am just kind of like chilling, like I said, I'm a big fan of Borders, my Bruce Lee, right? I love my boo.
Oh, we gotta talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just depends on where I'm at.
Chief,
so when did you become Adrian, when did you become a fan of Bruce Lee? Tell us how that happened.
That's exactly, yeah. How did that happen?
All right.
Because I mean, Adrian, if Chief Warren, almost everything there's always a mention of Bruce Lee all the time. I've never seen somebody who was such a huge fan of Bruce Lee. So tell us about that.
So this is in the 80s, right? And I know I'm dating myself, but I'm proud of it, right? Apparently that's retro time now. But back in the day, Houston, Texas, where I was born and raised, we didn't have social media. We had the old school Nintendo, the gray, you blowing it, like trying to figure out what's going
on. Over there,
we had a TV in the living room. And my brother and I shared a room in our apartment complex, and there was a little TV in there. So this particular time, it was raining. The big TV was spoken for, right? And I'm in the room that I share with my brother. And, TVs, the airmen are like, what? Yeah, not all TVs were flat. So some of us had TVs with a big old back with some hanging and all type of situation. It didn't have a remote control. So you commit to the click channel. And Fox had Kung Fu Cinema, and I saw the Chinese Connection. Right? Yeah. I was like, who is this dude? Who is this dude that I'm gonna marry? This is Bruce Lee, and we're gonna make beautiful babies together, and we are just gonna kung fu our way through life, like it's just happening.
Kung fu our way through life.
I knew this was my journey. This was my day. But then I found so rest in peace, boo. But yeah.
Oh my goodness. From Chinese Connection, just from Chinese Connection.
My boo was hot in that movie. He was hot.
Oh, wow. So I would ask your favorite Bruce Lee movie, but I guess it's Chinese Connection.
I know what it's not. It's Game of Death. That's the one where he actually died.
Oh, yeah.
If you know, like, you could see it's a dude who obviously to finish the movie. So not my jam, but just a fan. I'm just an incredible fan of his and can watch his movies repeatedly. Not Jackie Chan, right? But yeah, I can do it. So
Faye, I want to talk about that Jackie Chan because was that a Rush Hour Jackie Chan or before Rush Hour?
So I'm gonna be completely honest. I hadn't seen Rush Hour until after the first Jackie Chan film that I ever watched was not Rush Hour at all. I fell in love with him a long time ago watching the Jackie Chan cartoon.
I don't remember the Jackie Chan cartoon.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I actually found it on PBS.
Wait a minute.
One day, right? I found it on PBS, and me and my little brother were watching it, and I was like, what is going on? And I appreciated, like, every single cartoon episode had a moral. I mean, most do, right? Back in the 80s and 90s, most of them did. They had some kind of message or lesson or moral or something that you were coming from. But his always had some balance of, like, hey, between defending yourself and fighting off something, right? Finding that balance in that. And so that's what, like, ignited it for me. And then from there, I just started watching all his movies. Rush Hour is probably his most famous sequels, but he's got some other ones in there that I have learned to appreciate as well. And then his touch points in movies where he was, co-starring with Jet Li in some of those, like, I really appreciate those too.
I don't know. My favorite Kung Fu movie was Five Deadly Venoms.
What's that?
Yeah, Five Deadly Venoms was one of my favorite Kung Fu movies. Scorpion, Snake,
Yeah.
That was a joint back then.
I saw it on YouTube.
That was my joint back in the day. You know what I mean? Five Deadly Venoms. Well, okay, you found the cartoon.
For y'all that didn't know, this is a real thing. This is a
real.
Jackie Chan cartoon.
It's real.
That is crazy.
It's real.
It was not that. That's why I did not know that was a thing. Jackie Chan cartoon.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
My boys still watch it. Like, I introduced them. We still pull it up
so
on
they
YouTube
like
to
it.
try to find old ones. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's crazy.
Good. Well, I think we're going to close. So we usually let the guests give the last word before we close. So, but first, before you do that, thank you both for being on. For folks who have some questions that we may have not got to in the chat, if you guys get a chance, just go through the chat and see some questions. You can answer it afterwards and then go from there. So first, let's start with Faith. Any last words for our people?
No, I really appreciate the opportunity. This has been a lot of fun. I'm a podcast like newbie, so I'm normally on the other side of it. So I appreciate the opportunity to hopefully share a different perspective and maybe a different view and some different giggles, whether it's about services or otherwise. So I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah. Adrienne.
So yeah, not really knowing what to expect until you told me like to check out some of your other episodes and stuff. So I just think this is fantastic. I think that, because of the name, even Unpopular Celebrities, right? I really appreciate having the opportunity to get on here, cut up a little bit, not take yourself so seriously, right? Like, we're people first. And I don't know about others, but I do view this as professional development. And I think, if you find ways that work for you to be able to continue to fill your cup, right? And then in turn, you invest it to whoever your team is. Who's to say it can't be this podcast, right? It doesn't always have to be a book. Maybe books are not your thing. But I think if you recognize that you can't keep relying on what did it for you way back then, and you got to continue to stay current and up to date, I think that you're doing it. And yeah, some of the topics got a little spicy, right? I conveniently respond because, there's a Chief Warren answer and there's an Adrienne answer. But I think, we'll get there. And there's so many things that we didn't think that we'd see. And here we are talking about is past tense because it's already been enacted, right? And I think some of these other topics that are continually being voiced, it's just a matter of time. But like with anything, we have to have patience. We're not going to always get it right the first time around, right? But I do love that I get to see that we are still moving forward, and I'm a part of that. So just want to say thank you. I do plan on watching the rest of your shows. I'm going to probably critique the heck out of myself on this show, but it's been a lot of fun. So thank you.
Yeah. Pete, before you go, Pete, I'll give you the last word. Quickly, I'll just say y'all both did a phenomenal job, man. And I would say, I mean, the whole point of this show, Adrian, to what you said too, is for you to be yourself. And I think you guys did an awesome job of doing that, giving people a different snapshot of who you are. Somebody put in the comments, mentioned Bruce Leroy, which was interesting. I forgot. Oh, Matt Morris. I forgot about Bruce Leroy. Yeah, he was legendary. But anyway,
Bruce Leroy.
Yeah, did you know who Bruce Leroy is, Pete?
Of course.
I don't know. You didn't know who Jackie Joyner Kersey was, so I don't know. How you know Bruce Leroy?
How do those two things even correlate in your brain? No, Faith, don't do that. Faith, don't do that. That is totally false information. That is totally falsified.
What is real and what is not real? That's what it means.
Totally
anyway,
false.
I digress.
Thank
y'all both.
Thank you. Faith.
Yeah, thanks to both of y'all, man. And like I said, we will definitely have y'all on again in the near future. So we're looking forward to that. So Pete, any last words?
I do have a last word that I want to ask y'all some questions. It'll be a rapid fire type of thing.
Oh, yeah, that's
those
good.
are always fun to do. But I appreciate both of y'all for being on here. Faith, of course, I love you from a distance. Can't wait to finally meet you in person one day in my life, whether it's at your retirement or not. Hopefully it's sooner, but I can't wait. So I really appreciate you. Adrian, Chief, thank you for coming on here and sharing your perspective. I cannot wait to make the t-shirt. I can't wait we run out of first. So I'm definitely going to steal that. I'll send you one once we do. I really want to copyright that, but I'll give you the opportunity first. I'll give you a week, and then I'll copyright it. But that's really good. That's really good. But really quick, we used to do this, and we kind of went away from it. I want to go back to it, but just rapid fire questions, so really don't think about it too much. And the kicker is you can't go into description detail about it. So you just kind of got to give your answer. It's your answer. It's nothing crazy, and we'll just go from there. So cool?
Who going first?
We'll let Faith go first. I see the nervousness on your face. So we'll let Faith go first, and then we'll go to you. But they're really simple questions. Well, they're not. They're really. They should be simple.
It's like this or that. That's what it's like. This or that.
No, no, I wasn't gonna do this or that.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Go
ahead.
Can
I do my thing? Can I do my thing?
Hurry up.
Thank you. All right, Faith. What is one thing that always makes you smile?
My babies.
Oh.
Chief, we're going right to you.
Sunflowers.
Interesting. Who is one person you would change places with?
Change places with? Ooh. I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
Someone that worked for the Travel Channel for like some of those shows where they're like, oh, I'm in this country and I'm going to try the top 5 foods they're known for. Like I would that type of person.
Anthony Bourdain.
Or may he rest in peace. But someone along those lines where you get to you're getting paid to try the things and, give your feedback. That would be probably the person I would trade with.
So don't think too hard in this one because Chiefs is video games. But what's your guilty pleasure?
Tacos.
Tetris.
Wow. Yo, you hand clap for that one, man. Hey, I don't blame you. Tetris is addictive, man.
All right, last question. Dream car and color.
2004 Chrysler 300C black with blue interior. Chromed out
specific.
wheels with silver light. I already know.
Wow.
Okay, gangster.
Nightclub dub edition right there.
Yeah.
Yield sign yellow Nissan Xterra.
Oh my.
Wait, yield sign yellow like
Bruce Lee.
Yellow, like that bright yellow.
Yeah. A Nissan what?
Xterra, and if those that a black one, her name is Boo. She's 2007, and she's still pushing. I get a lot of judgment, but that was my dream car because I saw it on the lot and I just wanted bright yellow. Like something about that was like, ooh. But yeah, instead I settled for black. And she Ashley right now. Love you, boo. But
She said she asked you.
I thought Bruce Lee was Boo. Did he get traded?
No, well, you know, boo can mean many things.
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay. He saw yellow. Nah,
But
good show. I
Adrian,
really
when you say
appreciate-
yellow,
oh,
you mean when you say yellow, is that obviously connected to Bruce Lee, though, right? The color yellow because of the.
I just like that color anyway.
Oh, okay, okay.
So that's why I said sunflowers, right? If you go in my office, it's kind of decorated how my mind operates. It's all over the place.
Well, I appreciate y'all. Hopefully those questions weren't too bad at all. But really appreciate it. Pretty easy. But getting to know y'all a little bit more personally, I really appreciate that and doing that as well. Appreciate y'all for coming on the show. Hopefully we can bring you guys back on with Jessica Player next time. We'd like an all-female show. That would be really cool. And us men could just sit in the background and listen and learn. Really appreciate that because it's probably topics y'all can go into that we either couldn't think of or didn't think of. So that would be cool if we can get that and make that happen. But really appreciate y'all for being on. Unpopular Celebrities. See y'all in 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
2
weeks.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see y'all later.